This is me again, Marnie M. Kuyag, ang Teacher M ng Mactan. In today's video, I'm going to show to you or to teach you on how to solve a quadratic equation by using the quadratic formula. In my previous topic, I taught you how to solve a quadratic equation by extracting square roots, factoring, and completing the square. However, there are equations that can't be solved using those methods. So, the quadratic formula is the last option. Now, what is this quadratic formula? The quadratic formula is another alternative way of solving quadratic equation in any forms. And this is the formula. X is equal to negative b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, for example, find the solution of the quadratic equation 2x squared minus 8x plus 4 equals 0 by using the quadratic formula. Now, what is the first? Since the given is already in standard form, you are going to identify the values of a, b, and c. And the value of a is the numerical coefficient of the quadratic term, and a is equal to 2. Then the value of b is the numerical coefficient of the linear term, and that is negative 8. And the value of c is the constant term. If you say constant term, these are numbers or these are terms nga walay variable, and that is 4. Next step, you're going to write the formula para masayo nimo inig substitute. If you say substitute, you're going to imuhang ilisan ang mga letters into numbers. Mauna ni siya ang imuhang substitute the values of A, B, and C. Then you are going to simplify what is inside the parenthesis. So, ang nasa sulod sa parenthesis is negative times negative 8 according to the law of multiplying numbers. If we're going to multiply negative times negative, that is positive. So, copy ang uban. 8 squared is 64 nga naman. Always put it in your mind if you have an exponent, meaning sa exponent is you're going to multiply by itself kung kapilag exponent. So now in here, exponent nato is 2. So you are going to multiply number 8 by itself 2 times. That is 8 times 8 is 64. Dili siya 8 times 2, but it is 8 times 8. So now, 4 times 2 is 8, times 4 is 32. Okay, you have to remember this. This is a common mistake. Mao ni siya sagad nga kasayupan sa usa ka estudyante. Makalimtan si over. Also, put it in your mind, if makalimtan gani ninyo si denominator, then katong tanan nimong answer hadto sa final answer is automatic wrong. So, ang effort nimo nasayang. So, dapat dili kalimtan si denominator. And 2 times 2 is 4. Next step. We are going to subtract 64 and 32. That is 32. Now, next step here is we're going to simplify square root of 32. Now, is there a square root of 32? Other question. Is 32 a perfect square? As what you had remembered in our previous video, that a perfect square is answer siya sa numero nga gimultiply sa iyahang kaugalingon kaduha. So now, is there a number if we are going to multiply sa iyang kaugalingon, ang answer is 32. If we say 5 times 5, that is 25. Dili siya 32, of course. If we say 6 times 6 is 36. So, wala dyan siya number if we're going to multiply by itself. Ang answer is 32. meaning 32 is not a perfect square. Now, if your given is not a perfect square, mao na ba ni? Final answer na ba ni? Dili. You are going to find a factor ni 32 in which one of its factor is a perfect square. Now, try to find a factor ni 32 nga ang usa ka factor kay perfect square. That is 16 and 2. Asa man si perfect square? Si 16 nga naman, unsa man ang square root ni 16? That is 4. To check, 4 times 4 is 16. So meaning 16 is a perfect square and 16 times 2 is 32. So 16 times 2 is the factor ni 32 in which one of its factor is a perfect square. Next, we're going to simplify. What is the square root of 16? 4. So, kung naa may square root si 16, ato siyang ipagawa sa radical symbol. What is the square root of 2? Wala. So, since wala may square root si 2, then pabilin siya sa radical symbol. Next, we're going to simplify. Since 8 is divisible by 4, 8 divided by 4 is 2. And 4 divided by 4 is 1. And wasa man si 1, teacher? Si 1 kay invisible. So, no need to write for 1. Nagpabilin si square root of 2. And the meaning ani niya is si plus o si minus. So, ato siyang ibuwag. Therefore, the roots are 2 plus square root of 2. Ibuwag si minus 2 minus square root of 2. Things to remember. Number 1, the quadratic formula can be can be used to find the roots of any quadratic polynomial of the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, which is the standard form of the quadratic equation. Number 2, to solve quadratic equation using the quadratic formula, you're going to rewrite the equation in standard form and identify the values of A, B, and C because sometimes ang ihatag ni teacher nga given is not in standard form. So, kinahanglan siya i-rewrite in standard form so that it will be easier for you to substitute sa formula. And the last one, substitute the values of A, B, and C to the quadratic formula and simplify. Be sure to simplify all radical expressions and rationalize the denominator. Now, how are we going to rationalize? If I say mag-rationalize sa atong tangtangon si radical symbol sa denominator. Nga naman, if naagyapoy radical symbol si denominator, then your answer is not yet in simplified form. So you are going to rationalize. So that's it. Do you have any questions and clarifications? So to wrap up this tutorial, you already learned on how to solve quadratic equations by using the quadratic formula. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe our channel and hit the notification for more video updates. This is me,